So I wanted to stop on. I wanted to come online and do a quick June and July, or at least a quick May and June book haul video. I want to do a book haul video, which I'm gonna eventually post to YouTube. But I want to do a book haul video of the books I got this month that or for at least May and June. I want to do a book haul video. So that's what I'm gonna do now. A book haul and music video. Not music video, but music I got through like May and June, and books I got through May and June, and whatever else I got through May and June. And I got a haul of a lot of stuff, whether it was like free donated books or books for $1 or just books off of Amazon. I did get a lot of stuff between May and June. So some people already saw some of it because I posted it, but I'm doing a video. This is going to be for YouTube. But I got this album, which is a pretty substantial album from when I was first getting into music and like out of high school and stuff. Getting into like REM and Joseph Arthur, the bands that I did. Warren Zevon was obviously one of the artists that I got into, and this was a pretty influential album that I had really liked. It actually was a critically acclaimed, well, not critically acclaimed, but it was suggested by REM that REM really liked the album and thought it was a really substantial album by Warren Zevon. So I got this album called Life Will Kill You by Warren Zevon. I got a gently used copy of The Graduation Ceremony. I used to have it. There were things that happened in my life in the past, and I got rid of some of my Joseph Arthur stuff. I'm trying to get some of it back, because obviously he doesn't have the record deal with certain companies and stuff anymore, so I don't know which albums are going to be still being published or still being put out there and what albums are not. But I got the album The Graduation Ceremony. It was pretty much in like new condition, and came from a cellar in Georgia, so I'm really excited about that. I got a brand new copy of Could We Survive by Joseph Arthur. But Could We Survive? A brand new copy. It's an EP. It only has 6 tracks, but these EPs kind of came out when I first went to see, around the time I first went to meet and see Joseph Arthur at his gallery. These were the first EPs that had or not the first EPs that came out, but these were the EPs around that time that came out that he had put out, before his album Temporary People. He kind of joked around and said he was going to put out an album called All You Need Is Nothing or something weird or something like that, but he kind of changed the name or something and called it Temporary People. But and then there was also, I can't remember which came first or which came last, but I think Let's Just Be was already out, so I think Temporary People was the album that he put out after that EP. And he released 4 of them, and I actually got 3 of the 4 of them because I already have one of them as it is, because I really like the sound of that one too. But so I already had gotten one, but now I have all 4 of them. I got Vagabond Skies by Joseph Arthur. It's an EP. I only got this for like $6-7, so it wasn't bad. Like $5 for the EP. And these might even be hard to find. These might even be hard to find at this point. I got the Foreign Girls EP by Joseph Arthur. I got these in May, and I haven't even opened them yet. I need to actually put these in my CD player, but I kind of need a new DVD and CD player, so I haven't really been putting too many CDs and DVDs in my CD player because it starts acting funny, like it needs to be cleaned or something. But I got these 2 Mandisa CDs, which I got to open up and actually listen to. I got to listen to all this actually at some point. But I got these 2 Mandisa CDs. This first one is called Overcomer, which is actually discontinued by the manufacturer, so the manufacturer is no longer making this album. Plus, she passed away. What was it, like earlier this year, like last year? So, her album Overcomer. She was a really well-known Christian singer that was, tried out for American Idol. And there was this other Mandisa CD I got called Freedom. Still gotta open those up. And Whew, I got a lot to go through. So bear with me. um, this was a Goodwill buy, because sometimes I find a lot of Christian books at Goodwill. This was a book by Max Lucado called The Applause of Heaven, by Max Lucado. It's a Christian book. I got that at Goodwill. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it. Yeah, I paid $2 for this one. The sticker's still on it. It's called The Secrets of the Grown-Up Brain, The Surprising Talents of the Middle-Aged Mind. Which I grabbed this one because I'm actually middle-aged. I'm 30, I'm like 35 or 30, so I'm on my way to being 40 in like 5 years. So, but I wanted to read about, the surprising talents of the middle-aged mind. So I bought that for $2 at Goodwill. This was a book I got for free at the Fish Food Bank and Shelter here in Torrington. It's a little inspirational book that says, "Be good to yourself." It has little sayings and quotes in it, that show love always and stuff like that. So I got that. Excuse me. It says take time to rest, or take rest, and got this. This is another free book I got at the Torrington Fish Shelter and Food Bank. I like a lot of books on like doctrines. Like, I call them doctrines because it's like a lot of doctors are making like self-help books, and I read a lot of self-help books. Just something I think people do that are in mental health programs and struggle with their mental health and are in a mental health program and want to read a lot of spiritual and psychology books on trying to better yourself and stuff like that. But this is a book called The 10 Stupid Things That Men Do to Mess Up Their Lives. And I found this for free at the Fish Food Bank and Shelter. So I'm very interested to see the 10 stupid things I do that mess up my life as a male. My mom wants me to give this to my mom's friend Rose, which I'm thinking about it. Because there's just some political stuff in here, that I don't really agree with. I mean, I kind of like the picture of her drawing, and I kind of picked it up and said, well, even though it's a kid's book, I want to read it. It seems like a cool little book. But, there's some political stuff in here and some other stuff that I'm not sure, I'm not sure if my mom's friend would even like. But apparently my mom wanted me to give this to my mom's friend Rose, who brings her up here and stuff, to one of her, the children and stuff that she teaches with and stuff. But I just got this little children's book. I mean, children's books are enjoyable too. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and lie, Children's books are enjoyable too occasionally. Even though I'm an adult, sometimes I'll read a little book and get joy out of it, just the joy of being able to read, So I haven't read this one yet. Many people know that I picked this one up today. I have not read this yet. I mean, a couple of these I haven't read. I mean, there's a handful of them I still haven't read yet, and there's reasons why, which I'll get into later. But, so I just picked up this poetry book today for $1 at the Torrington Library. So I was wondering if I had already had it, but I only have an erotic poems book by T.S. Eliot. I did not have The Wasteland and Other Poems by T.S. Eliot, so I went back to grab, the T.S. Eliot, Wasteland and Other Poems for $1, because you can't beat $1. And ironically, I saw something else I liked, and I also have to go back for something for my mom, Not for my book haul, but for my mom, because my mom sometimes has me looking for her for things for her wish list and etc. All right, so all hardcore Italians like their mafia movies or their gangster movies or stuff like that, and all hardcore Italians like people like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and stuff like that. So a lot of Italians like their actors from Italy and that do all the hardcore gangster and mafia movies. So I scored really big on this one because I know this is a very popular movie to a lot of people. And I think originally it was at Goodwill for like $2, according to the little sticker there. But I got this at the Torrington Library, and it's Al Pacino as Scarface for $1. Al Pacino as Scarface for $1 at the Torrington Library. Like, you cannot beat that. You cannot beat that at all. I mean, that was on my wish list. I mean, along with The Godfather, Goodfellas, and The Bronx Tale, and a couple other things which I forgot. I'm trying to think about. Oh, the Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams. That's also on my wish list. Speaking about wish lists, this is another thing I got from the Torrington Library. It was actually on my wish list. It was a brand new, almost like a brand new copy of The Shift by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Everybody knows he's he's like a spiritual psychologist. He's like a psychologist, like kind of doctor type of guy, but he also does a lot of stuff about, healing and inner work and trying to heal and grow and evolve. So, I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Really looking forward to reading that. And I have another book by Dr. Wayne Dyer, which at first I wasn't sure if I even had, but I'm glad I grabbed it because it was still on my wish list, and I was like, as soon as I grabbed it and brought it home, I'm like, great, I grabbed it, I got something off my wish list. So, because I have a couple of his stuff already, but I grabbed The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer, which is another brand new book. The little Hay House sticker things are still right in there, or pamphlet things are still in there. But yeah, I got that by another book by Dr. Wayne Dyer from the Torrington Library. Couple of children's books which I might pass on to my mom, that were free on the giveaway table here. The Family Under the Bridge and Max Alone Makes a Million. So I think my mom might be really glad to maybe pass those on to maybe her friend Rose. If she wants to pass on some children's books, she can pass on these. I mean, my mom and her friend Rose are very politically, driven and a little bit more conservative, when it comes to their views. And I think the book that my mom originally wanted my mom's friend Rose to get from me, there's just like a lot of politically pushed views in that. I mean, it's a new book. It's a new type of book for the new generation. And I say that because it has a lot of the new generational pushes of beliefs that are being pushed on, I would say pushed on society, but people, that people expect that people should adapt to society, but not everybody knows how to really adapt to them, and there's a lot of issues because, people are already raised a certain way in different generations, but there was the things with that. But I might actually put these two aside from my mom. Now that I have these over here, I'm going to put these over here. So, that's a poetry book I already had. That's a poetry book I already had. I had to dig these out of a bin because I wanted to not make sure they're all sitting around my apartment, so I put them in the bin really quick. So, alrighty. So, here's the thing. I read novels, but it takes me a while to read through a novel compared to poetry. So, I gotta really have the attention span, but I do read novels. I'm more likely to read poetry because it's just I like poetry. I can get through it a little bit easier. I didn't do well in school. You'll be surprised. The guy who can actually write for himself did not do well in school. I was an autism kid that really struggled and tried to really adapt to my circumstances in the 90s when it came to all these changes of society, when it came to like autism and stuff like that people really didn't know how to handle and stuff like that, which really played an impact on my schooling and my life, in general. But despite that, I still read, and at least I still try to read and do what I can do. I mean, I can read, but obviously, your school struggles shouldn't stop you from progressing, and I can read and I can write and stuff like that. But this is a novel I got by Neal Cassady, which I got for like $6 on Amazon, called The First Third. It has a picture of Neal Cassady and Jack Kerouac on the cover. So, this was a poetry book I got in May. It's called The Bouquet of Red Flags by Taylor Mali. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sometimes I butcher names, so I'm just bear with me. I'm sorry if I am butchering names. But this is a book called The Bouquet of Red Flags by Taylor Mali or Mala. So, He did a book talk in Winstead. Where he was signing books and reading poetry and stuff. He did a book talk at the place where the American Mural Project was. I couldn't go because obviously I have a hard time getting around, getting rides to do anything. So sometimes I miss out on a lot of events. I miss out on a lot of different things, and I've kind of been made to suffer a little bit more than most people, but I'm not really going to gripe. But regardless, I missed the event, but I still wanted to get a poetry book by him because, I thought it was kind of cool, and I wanted to see what he wrote. So I saw this one, and I kind of wanted to get this one for multiple reasons about my life, It's a very good book, and actually, believe it or not, I actually almost want to read from this book for poetry videos. I want to almost read from this book for poetry videos at some point because I actually really like the way he wrote some of these poems, and I spoiled the surprise now, but I do want to actually read from this book and actually maybe post a couple of books from that. Another book I got for like $6, it's kind of a little bent a little bit, but kind of stiff. But it was another book I got for $6, and it's another Jack Kerouac book, or not another Jack. I actually got another Jack Kerouac book to show you. That the other one I showed you was Neal Cassady, but so I got this Jack Kerouac book for $6. It's called The Lonesome Traveler. Apparently Jack Kerouac wrote a lot of novels, I know a little bit about Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg, but I'm broadening my knowledge when it comes to Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg a lot, especially over the last several years, especially being a beat poet. I'm still trying to broaden my horizons a little bit more and try to, adapt and try to do research, but also try to, just find ways to strengthen my art, This is a book I got for free. I might pass this on. I don't know. You tell me what I should do with this. I got this book. It's called If You Tell. It's called A True Story of Murder, Family Secrets, and the Unbreakable Bond of Sisterhood. I got this book for free. I said, I don't know. It sounds interesting. Maybe I'll flip through it. Maybe I'll donate it. So, I'm debating on that one. I've been debating on this one, but I don't really read murder mysteries. I don't like horror. And I don't like murder mysteries. So I don't know. I might pass this on. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I might put this in a pile somewhere because I'm finding a couple of books that I want to give to my mom for her friend and stuff like that. Because I've read a couple of them already. Some of these I have not read, but I still got a lot of reading and stuff to do. A lot of stuff to do. So, hold on. That's not good. Book almost fell in the peanut butter over there because I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my computer table. Or not my computer table, my TV table. So, I got this book by Jack Kerouac. It's called Visions of Cody. It's another novel he wrote. He wrote a lot of novels. So I'm doing my research on the stuff that he's written, and I have not read that yet, but I have that one as well. I was flipping through this the other day and reading some of this. This is Domestic Work by Natasha Treataway, or I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm going to butcher names while I'm at this, but I was reading this poetry book called Domestic Work, which is by Natasha Treataway. Matter of fact, I got another book. I forgot who it was by, but I'm not sure if I have it. It's obviously missing from the pile, but I got another book which is actually more of a novel, which I didn't mean to get the novel. I was hoping it was going to be more poetry because I wanted to invest more in poetry. Because if the more poetry I read, the more poetry, and if I really like it, I might give back to my channel. It might give back to my channel by me actually doing a video and actually reading it from my channel. So it's kind of more of a personal investment to do more poetry than novels. But I read everything. I read novels, poetry, self-help books. So here's another Jack Kerouac book. I got it for $6, free shipping. This is a Jack Kerouac book called Maggie Cassidy. Got that for $6. Alrighty. I'm gonna have to look through some to find a couple of the other books. I mean, they're probably in another pile or something. But I got this book for free. This was actually downstairs on the giveaway table. This is a Christian book on angels. And supposedly, some people believe in angels, and some people think there's a conspiracy, and not all angels are good, and not all angels have the best intentions. But apparently, this is, a Christian book, conservative Christian, but this is a Christian book on angels. I still believe in angels. I still believe in God, and I still have a belief in angels and a higher power. And that's still part of my belief. But I mean, some conservatives kind of feel iffy about angels because they seem to think that there's a, the devil. They say the devil was once an angel, and he fell from heaven and betrayed God. But I know stories. I know Christian stories and lingo. But that's by Billy Graham, who I don't always like as a writer. But I thought when I saw that about angels, I thought that was something I should definitely grab. Power Thoughts Devotional. I got this from Goodwill. This was like, I don't know, this might have been, honestly, some of the books, even though they say $2 or so, I forget, because a couple of them I get marked down. Sometimes I look for the sticker of the day at Goodwill, and I'll get like a half off sticker. So sometimes the $2 book only becomes $1, or if a $1 book only becomes 50 cents. So I can't complain. That's one reason I shop at Goodwill. Unfortunately, not everybody honors the stickers at Goodwill. Not everybody honors the stickers, and not everybody honors the sale. Some people are just kind of stuck up like that. But I got this daily devotional by Joyce Myers, which I should actually be reading. Maybe I don't know if I want to do a video thing about this. I mean, I have a lot of options, a lot of different ideas of what I can do to really strengthen my artistic presence and my video presence and the things that I'm doing artistically. But I want to make it more about the art. I'm not sure if I want to make it more religious unless it has really an artistic impact. But this is kind of a Christian book on Power Thoughts Devotional, And my mom actually said she has a couple of books for me. She said she wants to give me some of her books or some of her Christian books. And one of the books my mom has is a Joyce Myers book. So my mom's going to give me a Joyce Myers books plus a couple other books she has that, she's given a lot of books to the women's ministry at church. She's given a lot of books to the women, but she saved a couple of books she found for me. So I talked to my mom earlier. She said, I'm going to give you a couple of books when I come up. I said, okay. I told her I'm still having trouble getting the book for her at the Torrington Library, but I'm working on it. Because she wanted a book at the Torrington Library, and I'm trying to do work around that and trying to work around my schedule at the same time to try to make everything work. Okay, so this is another Christian book by Matthew Kelly. I haven't read this one, and it's not one I see very often. It's called The Biggest Lie Ever Told in Christianity, which I got at Goodwill at one point. So, which actually was only $1. It was only $1. The sticker's still right on it. It's only $1. So, I got that. There's not too many places to go shop for books that are only going to be $1 and stuff. Sometimes if you go to like a flea market or a tag sale, maybe, or if you go to like Goodwill. Goodwill is one of the places in town you can get things for $1 or $2. The Torrington Library is a place where you can get things for $1 or $2. Torrington Library, you can actually fill a bag for $5, which I probably should have did to begin with instead of just splitting my money. But the problem I have is I have a lot of books as it is, and I probably should be reading some, and I should probably still be trying to get rid of a couple more. Because I do got a lot of books, and I do got a lot of reading, and I don't have a lot of room. So, but no, I mean really, yeah, just a lot of books. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. Don't know where the pause button is on the camera, so I'm just trying to go through my books really quick and stuff. I mean, it's hot in here, so and I'm not like I'm not really dressing like I'm going to the ball right now. So, anyways, so this is another book I got at Goodwill. I got it for $2. This is the only poetry book I found in May. It was the only poetry book I found. I didn't have a lot of time, and there was a lot of issues in May when it came to looking around at Goodwill with the person I was with. So this was the only poetry book I found. A lot of the books I found were on Christianity and stuff. I was hoping to find a little bit more poetry, but I found this one. And I don't normally do nature poetry. So I know I don't have a lot of nature poetry, but this was a book on birds. This is a poem book on birds, basically. You know, all different kinds of birds and stuff, which I found at Goodwill in May. So yeah, so I got that. I mean, you know, the saddest, and some people say the saddest thing you can see, which I kind of can attest to that, because I've given away books that were written to me, and you know, I'm kind of really, you know, one to talk, because you know, obviously I kind of regretted it later in some cases, but. This is the saddest thing to see when some people get books given to them by a loved one and stuff, and then sometimes they give them away. Sometimes people say it's the saddest thing to see, you know, that, you know, sometimes loved ones, you know, write a special message in there, and then eventually they have to get rid of the book, or feel like they have to gotta get rid of it or so. It's a sad thing. I mean, it's happened to me too. I mean, I've had people give me books and write stuff, and I'm not gonna say anything anybody knew. I had a childhood book I got from my graduation. Let's put it that way. I had a childhood book I got from my graduation. It was actually by Dr. Wayne Dyer. I actually had to re-get the book, but it's not going to stop the fact that there was a little transcription in there from a guy that was like a teacher to me, you know, in like school. So, you know, he really, you know, encouraged me a lot to grow and evolve, and you know, read and write, and, you know, but, he was into Dr. Wayne Dyer and stuff, and he actually got me this Dr. Wayne Dyer book, which he wrote in, like, when I graduated high school, so, and I had a party, like a pizza party and stuff somewhere, but that book's gone. That book's long gone. You know, I got mad, I was going through some changes, I got rid of some stuff I wish I never did, but such is life. We can't keep everything. So this is another book which I got. I mean, I found a couple books over there. I mean, there's still one book which I can probably read off of Amazon and tell you who the writer was, but I'm not going to go looking for everything, because obviously everything's kind of mixed up here. But this is a book I wanted for a while, and it was one of the recent books by T.D. Jakes, who's a pastor, or like a bishop, and he's a Christian, bishop and pastor. It's called "Don't Drop the Mic: The Power of Your Words Can Change the World," which I thought was going to be a really good read. And he actually says on the back, the more adept we become at conveying our message, the greater our impact. From lovers to litigators to interpreters to entertainers to bloggers to board members, all we want to do is communicate more and effectively, intimately, and efficiently. Whether you're interviewing for a new position, posting a new business plan, auditioning for a performance, delivering a report to your committee, teaching Sunday school, or sharing your heart with a loved one, this book will help. Which I thought was cool. I thought that was a book I might be able to gain inspiration from. And everybody knows, I'm good with money. I could be better with money. And this next book thing I got was more to be better with money than really be good with money, because I am good with money. I just don't have a lot of money, and that's the thing about me. Is like at the end of the month or the middle of the month, I'm scraping. But um, this is a book I got that was on my wish list. It was Get Good with Money by Tiffany Al 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 Alchi. I don't know, but it's a budgeting book. It's a book on budgeting and stuff like that. So, I actually got these. Was it when my rent cleared or before? I forget, but you know, I got these. I got these at some point. It was like within the last 2 months. So, that's what I got. But some of the books I got for $1. Some of the books I got for free. Some of the books I got off of Amazon for cheap. You know, I mean, for the most part, I never try to pay more than $10 if I try to buy something, you know, used. I try never to pay more than $10 because, you know, at this point it's like, you know, it's like $20 for the book, and it's like I can't afford $20 a book sometimes, you know, unless it's like my own. Unless it's like my own stuff I get published in, you know, like if I get published in an anthology, that's different. I mean, I'm putting it towards the publishers, I'm putting it towards myself, I'm putting it towards, you know, the you know, the situation, but of me being published, but you know. I got a lot of books. I do got a lot of books. I got a lot of reading to do. I got a lot of stuff to do. Honestly, the next couple things I do want at the Torrington Library for me are not books. Let's just put it that way. They're not books. So my mom wants a book, but me, I don't want a book. There's something else I do want. You know, I do want to go back and grab, but I haven't actually had the time or the money to do so. So but I do. I mean, I eventually gotta, you know, I actually gotta really watch a movie at something or some point. I really gotta sit down and just put on a movie. It's been a while since I really watched TV, you know. I'm kind of one of those, you know, some people don't. Some people don't pay for cable. Or some people don't pay for cable. Some people don't really listen to the radio. I'm one of those old school people. I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch TV. Well, I used to watch TV, and then I didn't like what was on TV, and then I would watch some of what was on TV, and it was reruns, and was a big mess, and I got rid of my cable because I just like I'm not really watching it as much, and I'm paying a fortune. So I'm not really paying for cable. I'm paying more for the internet because obviously I'm still a public figure. I'm still somebody with a social life. I want to connect and socialize with different people on social media. So I still need the internet. I still need the internet to online shop. You know, I still need the internet to look things up. You know, create my artwork and post my videos. So the internet is what I have. I don't really have cable. I don't really have a landline. I do have a cell phone, you know. But and what was the other thing? Cell phone. I forget. It's like cable and then just the rent, you know, usually. I still end up broke at the end of the month because groceries cost a fortune. Groceries cost a fortune, and I usually try to always get what I would like, you know. But alrighty. So at this point, I don't know what else I have to show you. I think that's it for now. I mean, there's one other book, and I'll just look it up really quickly because I'm not going to go on the hunt looking for it. I think there's at least one other book I was supposed to, you know, I was supposed to tell you about. Can't show you because I just like, I mean, you know. And ironically, it was the one that I was disappointed in. It was the one I was disappointed in that was more the novel than the poetry. Because I was aiming to get poetry, and I was hoping it was poetry, and that's why I put it on my wish list. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to. I am doing some more thorough looking of my actual wish list to try to maybe take some stuff off and put more things that I really want on there, and try to get the stuff off that's just gonna be just a space waster or just a waste of time. You know, I'm trying to make sure it's stuff I'm going to actually use, you know, or could use. I mean, I'm getting to the point, you know, now where gift cards, you know, things like gift cards and like, you know, snacks, you know, could send me a snack, you know, off my wish list and compared to like an actual item that, you know, that will sit in my house for a while, you know. So yeah, this was by a poet. This was actually by a poet, but it was actually not poetry. This is actually by a poet because I actually bought a poetry book from her. At one point, her name was Nikki Finney, or something like that. But it's called Heartwood. And it's a book by Nikki Finney called Heartwood, which is more which is more of a novel, and it's kind of a novel based on two young women who discover how much they are alike despite the different skin color. So I don't know, but I may read it, I may not, but you know. Anyways, that's my little haul of books for May and June. Honestly, July is not going to look very good for me to do too much unless I can magically work miracles, maybe at the Torrington Library or Goodwill or something, because I got basically a $90 AC bill to come up with out of my behind. My mother was going to help me with something, and that fell through. So, I got to come up with a $90 AC bill out of my behind. On top of my extra bills and my normal stuff, I got to come up with an extra $90. So, $90 AC bill is going to have to be paid in July. That's usually just how it goes for the summer. For the 3 months of the summer I run my AC, it's $90. So I owe that to the housing authority, and I kind of already put the check in the mail, or the check in the box. Actually, I won't lie. They switch rent boxes. I mean, they had different rent boxes downstairs. Everybody saw the picture of me kind of putting the rent in the rent box before, at least saw the video of me doing that. But they changed the rent boxes. They actually changed them recently. We got new rent boxes downstairs, and they bolted them to the floor or something. I don't know what they did, but I think they bolted them to the floor or something. But we got new rent boxes downstairs, so it's kind of a new improvement, I guess, for the Torrington Housing Authority. But I already did put my AC and my rent in the box. I just dated it for the 3rd of July. When I usually normally get money, so they can take it after the 3rd of July at that point. But they'll know it's July's rent because AC bill, because I wrote it on the thing. So at least I thought I did. I think I did. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I believe I did. But I had a PB&J for dinner. I'm just chilling out at this point. Thank God for coffee. Thank God for coffee. Ever since I got a Keurig, I've been really happier. I mean, my mom gave me her Keurig. I didn't even have to pay for it. My mom's like, I got an extra Keurig. You want one? I said, sure. So my mom gave me a Keurig, and I said, thank you, Mom. And some people say they don't last very long, and they only last a short while. But I'm hoping mine really lasts a while, and does me some good, because I really do like the coffee coming from the Keurig compared to the other coffee maker pot I have. That's like a 12-pot cup, and you get coffee grinds and stuff in it, But anyways, that's basically it. I mean, this is just a video I wanted to do of my book haul for May and June. July's not going to have much of a book haul. I mean, there might be some enjoyment to be had, with the library maybe not costing much, with maybe Goodwill not costing much, if I can get to those places. But per se, I don't have, at least I'm not going to have a lot of money for July. So I am going to try to get one other anthology I need to order. I think the ship date or the launch date is the 5th. So it's either the 5th or the 7th for the launch date, and I need to just I am going to need to just go and pre-order the last anthology I need, and have that hopefully have that delivered. I'm still waiting on an anthology to be delivered, but I'm waiting to I got to order another anthology at this point, so and have that delivered. But it's hot. It's hot. It's actually hotter out in the hallways than it is in my apartment, thanks to the fact that I have AC. But it's hot as balls in the freaking building. It's like this building attracts heat like crazy. But yeah, I mean, I managed to get a couple things with the spending I did have. I managed to do bottles and cans and come up with a couple bucks, and a couple bucks just got me a little bit more at the library. I've gotten a little bit more on donations and stuff alone. So, I don't make a lot of money, and I mean, I'm still very much low income. I'm very much a low income disabled artist, but I am a poet, and struggling to put out my artwork and make my artwork meet. It's like Patti Smith said. It's like Patti Smith said. You don't have to make a lot of money to really make good art. Good art doesn't always make good art doesn't always mean that you have to make a lot of money. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Um, or something like that. She said something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, but she talked about the quality of work and I'm kind of just like, yeah, but it's not here. Anyways, I'm having a better afternoon because I'm really just trying to stay positive. I mean, obviously there's no my mom's situation fell through. The state had disappointed me. I actually talked to somebody about that earlier. I actually talked to the head of a department about my mental health services, and actually my case manager, who's actually going to be out for 2 weeks. He's out this week and he's out next week because of family issues and things. So apparently, I talked to the head of the head over him, and she told me, she asked me what was did I have an appointment today? I said yes, and she's like, well, I don't think your worker had it down. I said, oh, that's great. So that's one of those things where there was still a miscommunication. He didn't put it down on the calendar, but he does have next week's appointment down. So hopefully next week will be better. I hope so, because I got to go to the doctor. I wanted to actually check what's actually going on with my thyroid right here, because my thyroid right here is kind of swollen. I don't know why. I almost thought I actually got pricked by something, because I was reaching for some onions the other day, and I got a sharp needle thing right under my finger. And I almost thought that was just a piece of the skin or something that I actually ended up or trying to grab, and then part of the onion just kind of that was sharp just kind of stuck me right under my nail. But could have been a bug or something that tried to sting me or something too. So I don't know, but my thyroid kind of hurts, unless it's my thyroid, unless it's something else, because I've had a lot of dental work done, and I'm hoping it's not like a dental work thing. And if that's a dental work thing, it's gonna have to be I don't want to I don't want to have to think about what has to be done if it's not not something that could be fixed. But right here is I almost thought right here is just sore. But I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine. I'm functioning and stuff. It's just hot in here. But for the most part, I'm all right. Yeah. I don't mean to be rude. I don't even mean to be rude to the guy at the Torrington Library either, because the security guard seems like he could be. I mean, he has a job to do. Of course, he has a job to do, and he has to make sure everybody's coming in, and nobody's gonna be disruptive to the place. But he's he's just giving me with the weird eyes. He just gave me the weird eyes, and today, why are you back? I'm like, oh, I'm back because I had money. I pretty much told the guy, the guy I was talking to, who I bought, bought the book from today. I was like, I told him, I'm like, I want to come back for a couple more books. I'm trying to scrounge up as much money as I can to come back and do what I can. I live across the street, so I'm just trying to come back when I can to pick up the books. And I told him there was a book I saw from my mom that I wanted to grab, but I mean, I don't have the money, and I'm still trying to scrounge up everything for myself and my mom on top of everything else. But I could wait a week and see and take my chances of fate, because obviously I'm not getting paid until July 1st. So, but if I do come up with a couple of bucks, maybe I can go Friday. Maybe just give it several days, until I go again. But I at this point am just so worn out. It's I can't keep running around trying to cash in bottles and stuff just to make ends meet. And the heat in outside and stuff has been horrible. Horrible. So, but I'm just hanging in there. I'm hanging in there at all. I'm hanging in there. And yesterday when I was out and about too, I actually ran the Stop and Shop. I didn't get a chance to fully talk to her because I was kind of. She just asked me how I was, and I told her I was struggling. But I did see somebody I know or I knew for a while that had worked for Artwell and stuff, and then she also got a job at Mental Health Connecticut, which is like a residential mental health place, in like the Torrington area and etc. I saw her at Stop and Shop. She's like, "Hi, how you doing?" I said hi, and then she kind of left. But I didn't really get a chance to talk to her too much. She just asked me how I was doing, and I felt like I probably could have said more. Probably could have said more of have a little bit more of a conversation than just like I'm kind of having a rough day, and then just have her walk away and be like, "Oh, he just having a rough day." But no, I mean, it was just a little rough because I mean, obviously, I wanted to go for a birch beer at Stop and Shop, and Stop and Shop didn't have the birch beer, so somebody said I should have got a rain check, but I don't know much about rain checks. I just but Stop and Shop didn't have the birch beer. It was the last day of the 57 cent sale for birch beer and stuff, so I just got a cream soda and I said to hell with it. So. But everything's going to work out as it's supposed to. I just need to give myself time and space and to be able to breathe. And sitting here drinking coffee, I have cans of seltzer. I mean, I have a little bit of cans of seltzer left, and I have a little bit of cans of Pepsi left. Do I have enough for like $2-3? I do doubt it. I doubt it. It's the end of the month, and things are really dwindling at this point, and during the last week before I get paid. And the other thing too, now never mind the $90 AC bill and stuff like that. Obviously, right before, obviously the week right before, it's the week right before, it's the week of, not even the week of, right before. It's the week of July. The first week of July is the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July week. The first week of July. So I'll probably get paid, and then it's the 4th of July. So at this point, I'm gonna need to really figure some shit out because if I'm gonna want to do something special to grab some type of food, do something where I can at least have a little bite or something and just get out of the house and enjoy myself. That's something I'm gonna be able to do. I'm not gonna have a lot of money to do too much because obviously I gotta pay a $90 AC bill. I'm not really sure how that's gonna really affect everything until after it's all said and done, but I do want to do something for the 4th of July. Part of me thought about just going over across the way, around the corner and getting groceries. I mean, many people don't know I live around the corner from a Stop and Shop, but they like to price gouge and stuff. They like to price gouge and make their prices absolutely atrocious. So I try not to shop at Stop and Shop unless I really have to. Unless I'm really stuck, I will shop at Stop and Shop. But if I can, I like to try to go somewhere where it's cheaper. It helps the budget, I don't mind Stop and Shop. I mean, I've adapted a little bit to Stop and Shop in my budget. I mean, there's things at Stop and Shop that, things like Price Right doesn't have, and other places don't have, that I had gotten. But, I don't know. I mean, the first week of July is, the 4th of July. So, for those who celebrate. Not everybody celebrates the 4th of July. Some people celebrate Juneteenth. Some people celebrate the 4th of July. It's all about your preference. I'm not going to judge who celebrates what, but I was always growing up on the 4th of July, so I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July. What am I going to do for it? I do not know. I would just like to do something where I can go do something, but not really screw myself over in the process. But anyways, I'm just chilling at this point and trying to breathe, I don't know. I'm gonna get offline now. This was my book haul. I'm just trying to breathe, and it's officially the weekend. Hopefully, I don't struggle this weekend. I'm hoping to put more more effort into basically, being able to like create and stuff this week, because if I don't, I'm gonna sit around, or I'm gonna sit here and be really frustrated and do things that are not really as productive. I'm kind of got a productive flow going. I'm not gonna lie, I do got a productive flow going right now. I did like 7 new poetry videos, and that's all brand new stuff. That's all brand new stuff people haven't heard before. I got, I'm doing my annual, well, May and June, book haul, because I want to start doing book hauls when I get books and show you guys what I have to read or what I've gotten, Um, but yeah. I'm alright. I'm alright at this point, trying to breathe. Well, I'm breathing. I mean, I am breathing, because if I'm not breathing, I would be dead. But just trying to live a bit more. Trying to live a bit more and not really sit around and mope and sit in my head and, etc. There's too much to do, But maybe this weekend I'll draw. Maybe I'll just go over to my pads and draw, Been a while since I've been able to pick up my drawing materials and be able to draw on my pads, I got small pads because I got them off of Temu, and everything on Temu is very small, but they are drawing pads, so I've been using them ever since I kind of had to be, kind of be stuck and kind of use them. But I need to be able to eventually too go over to Ocean State Job Lot and try to get a couple more drawing pads, which are a little bit bigger and stuff, to be able to draw and make art. I would like to do that at some point, but in some cases, I should get back involved with the mentor person for my mental health. In some cases, I shouldn't. I don't know what to do about that, but that's kind of up in the air at this point. I'm not going to bother everybody with the sob story about that, or the frustrations. But this is the book haul. I hope you liked it. I'm trying to look presentable or artistic in this, but I really am sweating balls, and I really just want to take it all off and be in the cool air. But anyways, peace.